Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to design a tower on this site here in Brisbane. I've got in the land parcels, I've got the data, etc. But really, that's not that important for this video. What I want to talk about in this video is the process of design as creating a solution to a problem. So you often hear the phrase, we're solving the design problem. And that's quite a strange phrase if you haven't done much design. But a design is a solution to a problem. And a design problem is actually a set of problems. It's not just one problem. It's traffic access, structure, market, financing, legislation, buildability, look and feel. It's a whole bunch of intersecting problems. So when we're designing a solution to the design problem, we're actually trying to do something quite difficult where with a one move, you're solving multiple problems. Very satisfying when you get it right, but not that easy to get right. So let's start designing. All right, I'm just going to filter out that building on our site, so we don't have to deal with it. There we go. All right. Now, Giraffe supports very quick drawing because iteration is how you solve the problem. So my first take is I want to build a point tower, some residential on top of some retail. That's what I want. That's what I think the market needs. There's the water over here, so there's going to be some views there. We're in Australia, so the sun comes from the north. There's this big street here and this small street here. So I think we're going to service this site over here. That's when we're gonna enter the site. And so I'm just going to add a new drawing layer. We call this option 3. And then I'll pop that onto option 3. And okay, so we're going to do that. And what we're going to want to also be doing is we're going to be wanting to see views like this to the water. I'll just put the satellite under the buildings. There we go. Turn it up a bit. Okay. So that's what I think we want to, those are the two main things. Then this main street over here, maybe I'll mark the main street with this main arrow like this. And this, I'll put as the minor arrow over here. This is the in and out. What we're going to want to be doing is activating it, right? So I'm imagining there's a lot of traffic up and down Duncan Street. Maybe people are walking over there, but people sort of are going to loop in. And all right, so immediately what I'd do is I'd just draw a big lump of retail on that side of the street. And I've sort of pulled back from Duncan Street a little bit like this to align with the building next to us. I'm just going to gesture and say, look, this is what's going to happen. There's going to be 30 meters too wide. There's going to be like a driveway in there. And we're going to be pulled back from the street. Maybe we can actually do something nice and align with this building on that side and that building on this side. We get this interesting moment of transition, which we can highlight with this articulation like this. And then I'm going to draw like, you can see there's already some trees on the street. So I'm just going to keep them. I'm just going to draw like a little natural barrier, vegetation barrier. Maybe pull it back from here so we get that corner presence. And so now we have this retail. I'm going to make it one level. We have this retail, and then I'll make another level on top. Maybe we're going to have some restaurants with some like terrace stuff over there. Okay, so you can see I have done something. I've sort of analyzed some problems or opportunities, and I've done a design. Now I haven't gone very deep, but let's go a bit deeper, right? My next thought is to draw the tower like this, aligned to the long side of the rectangle, because that's the easiest to fit a big tower whilst providing setbacks to all sides. So I'm going to do that, and let's pop it on the right level. Now, our floor to floor looks a bit high for residential, so let's just see, okay, it's 10, so I'm just going to change that to 3.2. There we go, it's a bit better. All right, so now we have this tower sitting on this podium with this greenery, and it's serviced over here, and now I'm starting to think about the structure of this tower. So the weight of this tower is going to come down through columns. They're probably going to be blade columns because it's a residential building, so you build the columns in the shapes of the walls. Um, but we don't want columns in the driveway, which is good. So the cars can enter here and there's no columns having to come down the middle. Of course, you can do columns. Like if you do this, you can, you often drive into a underground car park where there's a column between the entry and the exit lane. But if we can do this, it's even clearer. Okay, great. So now this is actually starting to feel like a solution. There's a solution here, right? When we look at this, we're going, okay, I don't quite know the details, but I think something can be made to work here, the servicing, the way this thing sits in its urban context, the views it addresses, the light it attracts. We've actually done, we've created a solution, one kind of design solution. And we can always test more, like maybe I should have chosen a site with sort of harsher constraints where it would force me more creativity. Like this would be another solution. Say the council says we really want small floor plates with a lot of cross ventilation and solar access. We could do something like this, But that floor plate's so small that it wouldn't get efficient enough to, you'd build a lot of vertical circulation to make that thing work, and then most of the floor plate would be vertical circulation. So let's keep it like we had. And let's dive one step deeper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete that. I'm confident that's going to work. I'm actually going to use our apartment algorithm. And I'm going to do this. Okay, make sure that it's at the top. All right, now when we do this, we see the actual apartments. And so what we can actually start doing is lining the structure up. So those blade columns that I spoke about, which separate, can separate the apartments, be good to align them with the structure down there. At least there's a wall there. And I'm going to pull this all the way in because I'm going to actually model by hand these external apartments. And maybe I'll do those two, something like that. Okay. And let's put the cores, let's put cores on both sides like that, and then we can split this, and this can actually come out a bit. Oh dear. Something like this. Okay. All right, so we have two cores. We have these apartments. They're lined up. The structure's lined up like this. And what's going to actually happen here is we're going to put the lobby, the residential lobby, over there. So we're going to make it just one level. Now we have a choice. Let me just move this guy out of the way. We can either get some more retail over the top so the residents come in and then up, right? Or we can do like a double height residential lobby, so sort of a grander, if we add a floor to floor here, we can add like a more grand entrance, something like this. Let's say we're going to do that. And immediately we can see we've got a problem, as in we've got two cores like this, but the entrance is over here. So how are these guys going to get to the core? So this is silly, so we're going to have to fix that. So let's put a core in the middle. I think we can do just one like that. No, we're going to have to split it into two to tell Giraffe to core. Okay, that's better. So we have you come in to the lifts, up the lifts, and then there's the apartments. So these are sort of 100 square meter apartments, which I like. Okay, now let's draw the end apartments. So what we're going to do is say, okay, the premium apartments are facing towards the water. So let's put some small apartments at the back. Sorry, got to hold that option key down properly. Okay, 65 square meter apartments like that, 60 square, and then these nice, really big apartments facing towards the water, with that core being addressed like this. Okay, so let's get some more apartments now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw this apartment trying to solve another problem that we have, and that problem is giving this building identity. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the opportunity to draw like a strange shaped apartment. Not the world's strangest shaped apartment, but just at least something strange. And And when we say strange, we shouldn't say, like facetious or, willful. We're trying to get something happening, and that is probably addressing the water, right? So we've got this like really nice north-facing aspect, and if you look down there, you can see that it's looking towards the city. Let's just change this 3D building and style this. Just get it to 3D. Okay, so you can see sort of down there, right? And that's that's a large apartment, isn't it? That's 200, so it's probably too big. So let's do something a bit simpler. We'll just round this corner like this, and then we will draw another one over here. Make that one a 3-bed as well. And up it comes. Okay, there we go. And now, actually, I may concentrate all our funniness in terms of articulation towards the north of the building. Keep the south relatively simple. Okay, all right, so now we've got ourselves in a pretty happy spot. We've aligned some structure, we've responded quite sensitively, we've given the building some identity. Both the residential has some identity, maybe it sticks forward so people know that the residential lobby and the retail are separate, but we've made some nice distinct retail experiences, one kind of shielded behind the park and one sort of more on the street. Let's actually re-emphasize that. Certainly addressing this corner. We've solved, or at least we know that there is a solution to the servicing. So both back of house retail, so truck deliveries are going to come in here, they're going to service the retail, as well as either down and up, as well as the residents of this apartment are going to be able to come in here. So you can see now it looks like this is overlapping, but the structure doesn't need to be on the end of the building. But let's just make sure that's actually just provide a bit more space to that vertical, to that car circulation. There we go. Now we're very comfortable we can do that. We've got nice setbacks in basically in all directions, and we're hitting some sort of mix. All right, so now what we can do is we can copy and paste this and increase the height of this thing. And as we're doing that, it's actually getting a nice identity. This building is not, because it's just, this simple curve is making it nice. And what we can do on the way up is we can change the mix of these apartments. So we say we've got these, 120, 80, and 80. So they're big apartments, but maybe on the way up, well, actually, so maybe, on the way up, maybe we go even bigger. So we can do something like this and have a really big apartment, which is actually, maybe we do that. Or the other option is we can, split it and have some more smaller apartments, because there can be structure within the apartment. So this 118, there'll be structure over there, right? Because this will be the bedroom and that'll be the living, and there'll be a split down there. So you can do stuff like that and have smaller ones coming up. Which actually, maybe let's do that. Let's do that. So there's going to be some structure in these large apartments over there, and then this really big one is too big. So let's put him over there. Okay, there we go. Normally it's asymmetric because the living is slightly bigger than the bedroom. Something like that. Maybe we can keep this one like that. Now that 50, that little studio shooting up. Actually, don't mind that, but let's get that one at the bottom and put the bigger apartments towards the top. Okay, so what I've done there is I've put the studios at the bottom where the views are not that good. I've put the large premium apartments on the top. And I've aligned that structure as that mix changes up the building. Okay, and I'm just changing the levels so I can, change that level up and that level down to mix that thing up. And then that's the final thing we can do. Let me just get out of this lens. Final thing we can do is we can copy paste this guy and make some sort of mega premium penthouse stuff at the very top. There we go, and maybe just pull it slightly back so they have a balcony, and do the same over here and over here. Cool. So now you have these these. I'm imagining even being double-story like penthouses. Just align that core. Cool. All right. So now we've solved the design problem in an even in a deeper level, and I may add another curve over there just to mimic this thing, and we'll put in another 3-bed. Sorry, that was Siri telling me there's nothing to read, which I feel. No, there's a lot of content to read. All right, let's see how that looks. Oh, that actually looks really nice. So let's keep that there and copy that, and then pop another one at the top. There we go. All right. So what I did there is this can be the amenities down here, so I'll change that to community. Just lower that floor to floor to 3.2, so it's the same height as the. All right, and so now you can see there's like this little amenities area over here. Cool. All right, that's a tower. That's a tower. And the structure's aligned. So we're now, we're solving this issue on a number of ways. Okay, the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of solve the design problem, or two design problems of the views. Like Brisbane, really nice sort of semi-tropical inside-outside living. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on the balconies. And the other thing the balconies are going to do is going to provide some further visual identity for this building. So we've made this very simple move of rounding the one corner and offsetting at the top and the bottom to articulate between tower and podium, which I am liking right now. And I may make this community as well, just so it pops. And we've got this nice lobby. Maybe we need to cut this retail back so people can see the lobby a bit more. There you go, yeah. And this will be residence, and this will be retail, like a cafe or something. Maybe I'll keep the language of the curve, because we've got this language of the curve, so let's just lean into it. This can be the curvy tower. There we go. Do I like that curve? It's not the world's best. It's not the Nike swoosh, but it'll play. All right. Okay, so now we've got some pretty cool identity to this building. So like I said, let's get onto the balcony. So I'm going to get the 1-bedroom unit. I'm going to go in this usage. I'm just going to call this balcony. Okay, and it's not going to have any dwellings. And I'm going to add a new property, which is no facades, and I'm going to set that to true. And then just the color of this bad boy, I'm going to make like a whiter color. Save changes. Okay. Hey, cancel. Cancel. All right. Now, let's just draw a polygon of this balcony. Balcon, and we're going to stack it up and just add some levels. All right. So here's these balconies going up the tower. Whoop. Okay, and I may just copy and paste those and pop them over here. I'm just going to use base point move to snap him. And I can snap that guy, and here I can do this. And copy paste, base point move, snap, snap, snap. All right, now this guy's going to far down, so I'm just going to add a base height to that guy just to get him to the right height, which I think is going to be exactly 9 meters because it's 2 times 4.5. There we go. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I am going to select this balcony, lower some levels, and I'm going to copy paste him on top of himself like that, and then I'm going to change like that. Okay, so I get some vertical kind of changes, and I'm going to do another one and do that guy and then lower that guy. Maybe I won't go all the way to the top. So what happens with balconies is as you get much higher, there's much more wind, and so you actually want less balcony. And so we could actually probably bleed the balconies out, as it were. All right, and one more, and I'll do this. Okay, okay. All right, there we go. It's starting to look pretty cool. Now I'm going to leave this curved thing. We're probably going to inset the balcony over here. So why don't we actually do that, which we can because of the way we've done this. Now, where should the balcony go? The balcony should almost certainly be on the north, facing that way. So let's do something cool. Let's bring this in like this, and then let's make this like sort of curvy balcony. The construction of this thing is going to be, you know what they always do? They just do this, right? So you actually just lop it out like this because then you can have nice, clean, simple facades. And that 2.6 needs to be right for a bedroom, right? And then what we do is we get that polygon and we go boom, 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 balcony, pop it up. There we go. Now, so that's reading more harshly than it probably would. And then we can actually do this and pop that guy a bit higher. So we're just going to say those top levels, they don't have balconies, they have winter gardens. When I say I'm reading this, this is reading more harsh than it actually would. What we can do is we'll have high balustrades so you'll read the curve of the building. You won't read it like these skinny slabs. Okay, but we've got a cool thing. We've got a cool thing happening. So I don't know, I'm 22 minutes in, which is quite a laborious video, and I've rambled more than I should. But we've gotten ourselves to the point where, hang on, what's happening there? There we go. Get that base height up a bit. There we go. We've got ourselves actually to the point where we have a relatively considered designers, and we've gone quite far. We've thought of site, address, structural alignment, balconies, identity, servicing, and not only we've thought about it, we've actually modeled it, and we've got all the areas of everything we need to know, and we've got this visual representation. So in 22 minutes, I think not bad. Last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select everything, and I'm going to just add this facades, and we get this really nice kind of wireframe of the building where you can actually zoom in and you can see how this whole thing is working, right? There's the, well, so this is, you know, a classic example. So these balconies don't actually work at the bottom because there's two studio units there. So let's solve that issue by selecting this and doing that, making this a bit smaller, a bit, sorry. So we need to make this guy go up, and this guy go up. There we go. Now I'm going to copy and paste him and base point move him to there, and then snap him down there. There we go. So now we've got small balconies for the small boys, big balconies for the big boys. Structural alignment, we're bleeding it out over the building. And then we've got something that is pretty fun. This is a lot of geometry, 24 features, but many, you know, 210 apartments and a whole lot of balconies, etc. Okay, and so here we go. We've got a solution. We've got a well-defined, robust solution that's being considered from multiple vantage points, and it's good to go. It's good, I think, to go to experts to talk to.